So without further ado, everybody, if you could please mute yourself. Without further ado, Stacey, and I'd love to say, if that's your last name, friend.
Elevacity has just brought out a new product called Georgia Peach Tea.
Well, wait, let me get these people
Or
muted.
you can have it cold or hot.
Okay, can you unmute yourself, Stacey?
I can. Hi, Judy. I'm right here.
Awesome. Hi, how are you tonight?
I'm good. I loved the music. Like, the music it just took some of the nerves away. Not all of them, but some of them. So that's a great start.
Well, you don't have anything to be nervous about. We're all here. We're all excited, and we're eager to learn from you. So without further ado, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction, Judy. Just what we have here is such a gift, and I feel so blessed and so honored to be a part of this and to be asked to have led this call. It's just a major pinch me moment in life and in business. So thank you so much for paving the way for us. I am so excited to hopefully bring some value to everyone tonight. Thank you so much for taking time for you and for your business. And without further ado, let's get this party on the road here. So when I was asked to take this call, I got thinking to myself, take action Thursday. What does it look like to take action in our business? And why do some people seem to always be taking action? And then why do other people maybe fail to take action? And so it kind of got my wheels turning, and I was thinking about, like what things I wanted to share tonight. And so with that said, I want to start off with a little activity. So if you wouldn't mind, in the comments, I would like you to drop a 1 if this applies to you. So, and then also if you guys can mute, thank you so much. Okay, so if this applies to you. So have you ever gone into a room and had every intention to go get something or, make yourself a snack or something? You had something in mind that you were going to do, and you go into that room and then you're like, why did I come in here? What am I doing, right? Drop a 1 in the comments if that's you, okay? Has that ever happened to you in your life? Drop a 2 in the comments if you have ever opened up your social media and you had the intention of messaging someone, or you wanted to go wish someone a happy birthday, or you want to go see what was happening on one of your team members' pages. And then all of a sudden you see something in the news feed, or you see a story and all of a sudden it catches you off guard. It takes your attention away from what you were intended to do. Have you ever had that happen to you? If so, drop a 2 in the comments. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of 1s and 2s popping in. So I want you to take notice of all those 1s and 2s that are coming in, and to know that you're not alone, right? It is the norm. It is human tendency and human nature to get distracted. So what I really want to focus on today are some things that have helped me stay laser focused so that distraction doesn't take over my life and to take over my business. And I have some notes here because, like I said, I am a little bit nervous. But yeah, so ultimately what we want to keep in mind is that, you guys, we know everything that we need to know to rock this business already. So keep in mind that, I might share some things that you're like, oh, wow, I think I've heard that before, but like maybe that resonates more. I hope that that's the case. But at the end of the day, you don't need to listen to any more trainings to rock this business. You don't need to know anything that you don't already know. We have everything right now in our power to go rock this thing, right? So just keep that in mind. And with that said, we want to acknowledge in this moment that nobody is motivated all the time, right? Nobody is always focused all the time. We all get distracted, okay? So how do we figure out what it is that's distracting us, and then to put some parameters in place to not let that take over what we want to achieve, to take action, right? Okay, so a few questions to kind of think about before I dive into my tips. Number 1, how do we break that cycle of letting life happen to us versus routinely taking action towards our goals? How do we create laser focus so that distractions no longer rule us? And then how do we become so disciplined? Because this is really all about discipline, right? How do we become disciplined so that motivation is no longer a factor? Okay, so number one, what I find to be super duper duper important, I know in my business, and I'm gonna guess in yours too, is your why, right? What is your why? Why are you here? At the end of the day, what are you looking to achieve and why have you chosen this path? So transformation happens with truth, right? So what is your truth? What are you hoping to see different in your life? And why are you on this trajectory to get there? And also, I love Post-it notes, you guys. I am a Post-it note queen. I have like so many Post-it notes. I mean, you should see what I'm looking at. My screen right now, Post-it notes everywhere, right? Post-it notes, Post-it notes. I recommend that you sit and you really think about your why and you really identify, because I can't tell you what your why is. You know what your why is. And when you figure out your why, maybe it's financial freedom, right? Maybe you're like, I want financial breathing room. I want more financial breathing room in my life. I encourage you to sit and to peel those layers back and to ask yourself, what does financial breathing room really look like? How will that really impact my life differently? What will that mean for my family? What will we now be able to achieve or to do or to be a part of that we can't be a part of now? And how does that really feel? How does it feel to say yes to my kids when I've previously had to say no? So once you get really deep with that, write that down on some Post-it notes, put it at your desk or wherever you are every day. Put it on your bathroom mirror so that when you brush your teeth twice a day, hopefully, you can read that and be like, yes, that is why I am here to do this business. Okay, so number one, get clear on your why. Number two, identify what it is that's getting in your way. So we all have different distractors in our life, right? As Judy said, I'm a mom of two. Thankfully, my husband was able to come home a little early tonight so I could take this call and be laser focused on this call. So he is with the kids. And those are typically my distractors, my kids. Whatever just distractors are in your life, identify those distractors because it's important to be able to set boundaries within those parameters. So I read this quote and I absolutely loved it. And I'm going to read it to you. Focus on the day so you don't lose the week. That's powerful right there, right? I love that quote. So how do we eliminate or essentially reduce the noise or reduce the outside distractors that get in our way? So a big one for me is setting work hours. Creating a schedule every day and creating those work hours so that when I am on, I am on. And if that means the hour before my kids get out of bed, then that's it. If it means the 2 hours after my kids go to bed, then that's it, right? Whatever it is for you, look at your day and figure out when can I commit to work this business? Because at the end of the day, you guys, if this was a business that we clocked in and out of, we would that's a schedule right there. And we would have that schedule and we would go and we would clock in and we would clock out. What I've found with my business is that, and why, one of the big things that I love about this industry is that, you know, we have the ability to create our own schedule. It's one of the many reasons why I do this, because I freaking love that. But that can be your demise if you let that rule your business, right? We can't focus on the time freedom before we've been able to get to a point where we have that time freedom. When we start in this industry, we have to kind of reestablish what all of that looks like, right? So set work hours and schedule them and commit to them. And so something else that I do when I set my work hours, you know, I know what the kids are going to be doing during that time. So like I said, if it's the before they get up and it's the after they go to bed, right? They're going to be sleeping. But what if they wake up? What am I going to do? What am I going to, you know, am I going to put a show on for them? Or what am I going to do so that I can eliminate detour, right? As much as humanly possible. So I want to think about those things that could be preventing me from achieving that. It's also super important to set non-work hours. So burnout at the end of the day, you guys, is a choice, right? It is literally a choice, like everything. We have the choice of whether or not we're going to get burnt out. But a huge part of it is if you go into this, because this is what I've experienced for myself. If I go into something like thinking, okay, I'm just going to do as much as I can with the time that I have, I'm already creating unrealistic parameters in my life, and I'm actually kind of setting myself up for burnout. Okay. So I've found that it's really important that my work hours are my dedicated work hours, and I don't let anything derail me from them. I mean, with reason, right? And then I have my non-work hours that I also treat of equal importance. So when I schedule time with my kids, I put my phone across the room, and I don't let the messages that are coming through derail me, because what happens is I will create that resentment and nothing will end up winning. Okay. Something else that I found to be effective. So again, like I'm going to kind of use the examples of being a stay-at-home mom and my kids being the big distractors in my life, because that is my truth. That is my reality. And so I was finding when I was working this business that, you know, I would set some time in the middle of the day, right around lunchtime, and I would be answering messages and doing some work. And it was always at a time where, you know, my daughter's asking me for food and I'm trying to make her food, and I'm also trying to plug into a training or answer some messages. And I just, again, felt like nothing was winning. So something I found to be really helpful is doing as much the night before as possible. So I pack a lunch. We don't leave, right? Social distancing, COVID, all the things. We don't leave. We don't go anywhere. But I pack a lunch for my kids every single night the night before. I pack a lunch for myself every night the night before, because I don't ever want to be in a situation where I'm in the middle of a task and then I don't know what I'm eating, and then I have to figure that out and make my lunch and this and that. Again, distractors, right? The more we can tap into whatever the distractors are in our life and to create better parameters around that, the more successful we're going to be. Write out a to-do list the night before. And so what I do, I'm like I said, I'm a Post-it note queen. I'm a to-do list queen. I love lists. I love paper, pen, visual. That's my jam. And so I have a to-do list every single day, every single night before I go to bed. I create my list for the next day. And at that time, I look at my current list of that day and I make sure that I've established my top 3 non-negotiables. So I always write out 3 things that I commit to doing the following day, no matter what. No matter what happens in my day, I commit to doing X, Y, and Z. And then the other to-dos are the would really like to get done, but I'm not gonna be hard on myself if those don't get done, okay? So that's been really helpful for me to have. I also turn off the distractors within my phone when I'm working. So that do not disturb button, I love that, right? Because you can kind of field some of the noise that would be coming through. So turn off, again, anything that you know distracts you or puts you into squirrel mode. Okay. Number 3, establish some personal rules or some non-negotiables, some personal or business type of non-negotiables. I like the word rules. I don't know. I'm kind of like a weird rule follower. Call them non-negotiables if you don't like rules. So number 1, for me, birthday messages. And I know a lot of leaders have shared the value of birthday messages. I love birthday messages, you guys. And, you know, at the end of the day, we're in the business of network marketing, right? What's the first word there? Networking, right? So network marketing, how do we have new conversations with people every single day? Sometimes that can feel a little bit overwhelming or confusing. You know, who am I talking to every day? How am I getting new people to talk to every day? And how am I not being salesy about it? Well, the best thing we can do is wish someone happy birthday. I mean, I don't know anyone that would be upset about that. And if they're upset about it, you should probably just unfriend them right then and there, right? But who doesn't love to be wished happy birthday? And so something that I found to work really well for me is I like to get in front of the birthday messages, and I like to do them a couple days early. So if you type in upcoming birthdays in Facebook, it'll generate a list of today's birthdays, yesterday's birthdays, tomorrow's birthdays, the birthdays 2 days from now, etc. So I like to send them a couple days in advance because let's be honest, what happens on your birthday? You get more messages than you're probably used to. And some people like me, if you're like the crazy splotchy introvert like me, like you might get a little, oh my God, how am I going to deal with this? What am I going to do with all these? And you almost might go into like flight or fight mode and just kind of thank you, thank you, thank you. And you won't have that genuine conversation with people. So I like to do them a couple days early. And I always like to ask a question. So I say, hey girl, I just saw that your birthday's coming up in a couple days. That's so amazing. I'm so happy for you. Happy early birthday. Hey, have you thought of anything special or fun that you're going to do with your day? Share with me. I can't wait to hear back. Something like that. And then they're like, wow, she's like already wishing me a happy birthday. Like, sweet, awesome, right? It's a great thing. So I love doing that. This is a big one that I learned from my parents, darn parents that had some good pointers. Work before play. So where that comes into play for me is with social media. So social media, I love social media. I love playing on social media. I love finding new people to follow on social media. I love watching stories on social media. I love scrolling the news feed. I like doing a lot of things on social media, reading articles. I get really interested in what's going on social media. But it's also a platform for my business. So when I grew up, my parents would say, you know, you have to finish your homework before you can go watch TV or before you can play that video game or before you can go play, right? And so I treat social media the same way. When I open social media for the first time, before I start getting into the news feed or I get into the stories or anything like that, I do all my non-negotiables within social media for my business. And what that looks like for me is engaging with new accounts, adding new people to my network, engaging with people's stories, checking in on my team, stuff like that, right? My birthday messages, etc. And then that way I know, okay, I've gotten that accomplished. Now, if I get sidetracked, I'm not feeling as guilty about that either. Like, oh my gosh, I keep getting sidetracked and I need to do this, right? Next thing, oh, and same thing with like posting and making sure my stories are, you know, active, all that too. Messenger. Okay, so Messenger is, let's be honest, it's a place where it can get a little busy, right? Our Messenger, we're network marketers, right? We have to expect our Messenger to get flooded. So when I sit down and when I'm in work mode, let's say I set aside 30 minutes to follow up with my current customers, or I want to follow up with some prospects that I've been chatting with, or send birthday messages, another example, right? So if I'm in Messenger and I have an intentional goal that I'm trying to achieve, it's really important that I don't let the people who are replying to distract me. And so I already know that. I know that my tendency is to be like, what is that person saying? What is that person saying? Oh, look at that person that I've been prospecting wrote back. I wonder if they want to buy the products yet, or I wonder if they want to join the business yet, or whatever. But I know that if I jump into Messenger and I start having that conversation with them, then all of a sudden my daughter's going to distract me or something else is going to happen. And then I'm going to think, oh crap, I never finished those birthday messages, or I never finished those follow-up messages to my customers. So laser focus, I get all the tasks done. And then when I'm done, I go back in, and if I have time, I will start responding to people. And I also use alarms religiously, you guys. Like, you could scroll my alarms on my phone and be like, holy cow, girl is like one big alarm. Every team call, checking in with certain people on my team, everything, every opportunity call, every welcome call. I mean, like, I know that I need, like, at times I joke, like, it'd be nice if I had like a little personal assistant to follow me around and tell me what I need to do, right? Anyone else ever feel like that? Well, that's Siri essentially, right? That's your alarm clock. So I set a lot of alarms, and that does help me stay on task. And I use timers too. Set yourself up for ongoing success on social media. So I don't want to go too deep on social media, but some things that I used to feel when I started in this industry was, man, I should get a post up right now. it's been like 3 days and I haven't posted anything. But I don't like how I look today. I don't have anything intentional to say. I don't feel motivated. I don't feel inspired. Shoot, okay, I guess I'll just see what happens tomorrow, right? So see how that's letting the fear cripple you from doing what you know you need to do, okay? So what I like to do is I like to set myself up on social media so that I never run out of things to share or to do on social media. So what that looks like is this when it comes to pictures. So we all have those days where, again, like we know we should post, but we don't like how we look and we don't want to take a selfie, right? So when I do feel good, I take a lot of selfies. And I take a lot of selfies in a lot of different clothes, in a lot of different rooms of this house, sometimes with my hair up, sometimes with my hair down, sometimes holding a coffee mug, sometimes holding a water bottle. I have a whole collection essentially. And that way, when I have a post idea that I'm excited about, I don't feel crippled because I don't have a picture to go with it. And I have an album on my phone called Content Pics, right? Or Post Pics. So then I can just go in and be like, ooh, this pic, I like my expression on my face. This is perfect for this post. Done. Same thing with content. So as I scroll social media, more in my play time of social media, I try to really take stock and identify when I see a post that I really like. I want two things. One, I think about why I like it, why it's inspiring to me. Is it the way that it was worded? Is it the fact that they're asking me questions that are making me think more? What is it that they're doing that is attracting me to that post? Because that will help you kind of find your voice. But also I recommend screenshotting what you find to be inspirational or speaking to you, and then create an album on your phone, just like the pic post album. Create another album that's content ideas, right? Not content, because we're gonna make it our own, but content ideas. So that when you feel like you should be posting or sharing or saying something, you're gonna go into that, and you don't have that mojo, you don't have that idea fresh in your head, you're gonna go into that album and you're gonna start reading those posts that you've loved, and you're like, oh, yes, I know exactly what it is that I want to say, right? Because those are screenshots of what has spoken to you and what has inspired you. So I'd be damned if those didn't speak to you in a way that helped you figure out what to say in that moment. And same thing with story slides, you guys. So, be okay with recycling things too. If you create a series of yourself making coffee and you really like how those stories turned out, save them to your camera roll, create an album on your phone called story content. And that's your original content. So you can just straight up throw that back in stories when your day is crazy and you're like, I haven't storied and I need to get something up there, right? And then my final point is stop overthinking and just frickin' do it. So kind of going back to my original point, we all already know everything that we need to know in this business. We have
Amen, honey.
amazing product. We have an amazing product. We have so much at our fingertips, you guys. I mean, can we just talk about how dang blessed we are that we get to share coffee? Like legit, that is a freaking blessing. We have everything in our wheelhouse to be able to just do the things. So don't feel like, I just joined. I need to watch these trainings. I need to do things. No, you don't. Share your story. Go talk to some people, share your story, share your excitement, share your passion, plug them into a tool, help them get started, sample them. That's it, right? I want to also kind of chime in a little bit on, this is the end of the month, right? We have 2 days left of the month. What I have learned here is that it's not over till it's over. So do not start thinking about August. I love forward thinkers, don't get me wrong, but it ain't August yet, okay? We are in July right now. So I want you to think about today, what am I going to do today, tonight, and what am I going to do tomorrow to close my month out strong? And if you feel like you are so far away from a goal, like there's no way that you can get your full cap, or there's no way you're gonna be able to hit your next rank, the reality is, the more you do right now, today and tomorrow, the closer you are going to be to that goal in August. So everything that you do right now is truly setting yourself up for more success next month. So even if you don't hit it, you're never failing, ever. Last thing, two things, sorry. Okay. If you feel crippled in the moment, I used to feel this all the time where I know I need to go live, but oh my gosh, I'm terrified. Or I know I need to get a post up, but I don't know, I'm just feeling overwhelmed. Try the 3, 2, 1, go method, right? So you just say to yourself, 3, 2, 1, and then you just do it. You just freaking do it. Last words. So I'm going to end this call the way that I like to end conversations in general. So this is kind of a little bit of a networking tip, and I had mentioned it with the birthday messages. I like to ask a lot of questions because questions is what facilitates conversation. And again, we are network marketers. We are in the business of networking, and that means chatting with people, right? Getting to know them, chit-chatting. Well, what's the easiest way to help a conversation continue? Ask a question, ask another question. My husband has like this one phrase that I'm obsessed with, and it's, you don't have to be interesting, you just have to be interested. So don't feel like you have to be interesting. You just have to be interested in that person. And a big way to do that is questions. So I'm going to leave this training with 3 questions and then we will be done. Number 1, are you loyal to your business? Number 2, would you hire you? I really like that one. Number 3, are you operating from a place that you want to be? And so what that looks like, what that means, I'll give an example for me. When I was asked to do this call, my first reaction was like, oh God. My second reaction was like, should I say no? And then immediately my third action was like, hell no, I'm not saying no. I want to be a black diamond. Black diamond is on my vision board. And guess what? A black diamond says yes to doing this. A black diamond's action in this moment is to take this call, is to lead this call. So are you doing, if your goal is star, are you operating in a star mindset? If your goal is diamond, are you operating in a diamond mindset? Okay, so I'm gonna end it at that. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will read the comments.
Woo! Yay! So awesome.
Nailed it, Stacey.
I'm sure that everybody's wish they had every team member on this call. And literally, we do have a recording, but there's nothing more exciting than being present in the moment as we see everybody's here participating. So you guys take action Thursday. There's so much value. Stacey, I took 2 pages of notes. I could have taken more. I have to go back and watch it, but so much value, so much content. Thank you so much for sharing your heart, sharing all your knowledge with us. We truly appreciate you, and I'm just excited. I can't wait for everyone to share this video to all their other teammates because, like I said, you gave some great value. So thank you, everybody. Don't forget, next week, Take Action Thursday, we have Mike and Cassandra Massini. And don't forget, close the month out strong, like Stacey says. It is July. Let's focus on July and worry about August when August gets here. So everyone, have a blessed evening from my heart to yours. Mwah. Thank you, Stacey. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nailed it,
Thank
girl.
you, Stacey.
Thanks, Stacey.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.